You did everything right. You built the career, earned the title, provided for your family, and ran the race exactly as it was laid out. You crossed the finish line. The morning after the retirement party, the ache with no name arrives. Your calendar is completely clear, the phone is finally quiet, and yet the relief you were promised remains out of reach. You follow the standard prescriptions, the trips, the golf, the schedule filled with new hobbies. But these distractions rarely touch the quiet, persistent restlessness, waiting whenever the house is still. When the emails stop and the meetings end, the vacuum that remains is one of identity. You are left facing a terrifying question. Who are you without the role? For 40 years, you operated as the primary contractor of your own life. You utilized willpower, mechanical effort, and pure hustle to force outcomes and solve problems. Applying those same industrial tools to a biological reality creates an immediate mismatch. Human growth responds to conditions, not force. Attempting to manufacture purpose through sheer discipline causes your effort to backfire. The harder those gears grind, the more anxiety they generate. The tools and discipline that built your career has become the primary barriers to finding peace. Human life works like a garden, needing a grower's eye rather than an engineer's optimization. The grief of losing your professional title is real, but those decades of stress, exhaustion, and victories were vital preparation. They were composting. You spent 40 years creating rich soil. Breaking through the rigid habits ingrained by your career allows you to plant something new. Behavioral changes fail if the deep-root belief remains untouched. The old idea that your value is determined by your professional production. Rather than inventing a frantic second act, you can allow your decades of accumulated experience to finally yield a different kind of growth. Surviving corporate environments often required a persona built on perfectionism, high standards, and professional invincibility. That fortress served a purpose. It was a reasonable response to the scrutiny and threats you faced in the workplace. The same walls that successfully kept out workplace threats now keep out help, grace, and genuine human connection. A half-second pause between a trigger and your reaction changes the architecture. In that tiny gap, the automatic defensive responses you relied on for decades can finally be interrupted. Retirement offers a chance to convert blind, defensive walls into wisdom-operated gates. Struggling frantically against the loss of your professional identity creates vacuum pressure, pulling you deeper into anxiety. Survival requires the counterintuitive. You stop fighting, spread your weight, and deliberately yield control. Yielding the outcome represents the most active, advanced form of presence you can practice. Laying down your old armor and stopping the hustle is an act of ultimate trust, replacing mechanical exhaustion with quiet freedom. These two instruments describe a shift in how you relate to the world around you. For your entire career, you operated like a thermometer, constantly reading the room and reacting to bosses, market demands, and external pressures. Freedom now means acting like a thermostat, setting your own internal temperature and holding your peace regardless of the external weather. In a vineyard, the oldest vines produce the deepest fruit. Your 40 years of life have perfectly prepared you for this exact phase. This transition marks a homecoming to the identity that was always waiting beneath the title. The work is done.